Hello everyone, today I'm going to present you fragments of my coaching session of position for Zeus who's archon rank. I feel like we get to fix wrong ideas about the laning stage that student had, and in the long term it's going to help him a lot. If you're interested in private coaching, reach out to me on our Discord. Let's jump straight into it.
Okay, so the two games I sent you, I felt like were good because, like you saw, I feel like I did pretty well both games. In one game, I was laning against an anti-mage as Zeus, so I got countered, but I think I did relatively well during the game. And then this game, I feel like I won the lane. I did extremely well, but both times I lost.
So we mostly, as a support, want to care about first 15 minutes because that's the most impactful part of your game. Because that's the part where your strength is basically at least same, if not higher, than the enemy cores. And that's the part of the game you can impact the most. And then, Dota is a snowball game, right? If you start the game well, it's gonna be easier. I'm a big fan of smoking, I would just say that, because you usually get to have some free gold at the start. Because the first thing it allows you is to place an aggressive ward on the mid lane. So that's the first thing. And usually that's even worth 50 gold if you get a good ward on the mid lane. That's the second thing is you get to set up whatever you want and then make a decision if you want to take a fight or not. Because if you have an ops, you get to, get here and run uphill without worrying if there's someone. And that's the easy way, right? Because if you don't have a smoke, it doesn't pop, right? So as long as someone is here, let's say Pudge is here. If you're smoked and you approach this, and the smoke pops, you know he's there. So you can just turn around and just run, right? Would you say that was worth it at this point, killing the courier?
Uh, I think so because of the gold for me.
Okay. Okay. I see
It was a
why.
little risky because they have a Pudge, but I noticed Pudge wasn't focusing on
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
So,
I don't like one thing about it though. I'm just gonna show you. Because this player is fine, right? Uh, I like the idea that you want to leave Magnus a lot of XP. The problem he has here is he doesn't know how to creep aggro, right? He's supposed to get those creeps into his range creep, and then his creeps go into their range creep, and you get to pull the lane back, and that's perfect then, right? What you're
uh-huh.
doing here is perfect if he does that, because the problem is against Patch, you don't really want to play the lane here, and you can know why, right? Because he's gonna hook you
Yeah,
into the trees.
yeah.
And in most matchups, it's actually the same. Basically, what I want to say is playing the lane here is always better than playing it here. If you're playing position 4, always. There's not a single scenario that it's not better in the like first 2-3 waves, right?
You're
Because
saying
you
I should have cut the wave?
so I mean, there's no definitives, right? Because what ends up happening is your Magnus gets level 2 and then you get to play the lane again. But the way I see it, right? If your Magnus doesn't know how to pull aggro here, and because I just explained how to do that, right? You just click on how to pull aggro, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So if you get your creeps into the tower and you block this camp and you manage to get your wave here at the first minute, you basically won the lane. The lane is over. Why? Because you have Magnus, which is a decent offlaner, but you are playing against double melee heroes, and if you manage to get level 2 soon, not even before them, but soon, you don't need to worry about them hooking you, right? Because you can just jump away. That's a perfect scenario for you. So what is gonna end up happening? If your lane is here and you get level 2, you get very easy way to just pull them into the tower, right? Pudge is completely useless here because he cannot hook you into the tower, and then at level 2 he's not that scary, right? So your main goal is to pull the lane here against this lane. In most cases, it's the best way to just do it as well. So there's like few scenarios to do that. First is here. You come for the first blood. And instead of going for this bounty, you can go for this bounty. Hopefully get a kill here. And just block enemy wave. You know that, right?
Okay, yeah.
Oh, okay, you didn't. So basically what is happening at high MMR, like a lot, both teams go for the opposite side bounty runes, which is to your offlane basically, right? When you're playing position 4, close to the lane that you're playing with. And then you just go there at 12 seconds and you just block the wave. Because what is gonna end up happening if enemy carry doesn't block this wave, and it's very hard because it's very hard to realize what is gonna happen, and usually he's not gonna be there because if he was, he would die there. You can block the wave here, and by blocking it for like 3 seconds, you don't even need more, right? Your creep wave just runs into the tower, and then the wave is here. And your only job as a 4 is to block this camp, whether that's a ward or your body. So that's the easiest way. The second way is, however, to just pull the aggro here. There's like so many tricks to do that, right? If you pull the aggro with the creeps here, like I told you,
and so much more shall soon be spilled.
Here, you just pull the aggro to your range creep. Hopefully he doesn't know what is happening, because that's the MMR that people might not even realize. Your creeps go into the tower. The tower pushes your creeps, kills them. And this wave just kills the range creep and just goes through, right? And just ends up here. So the lane is here. And again, your only job then is to block this. And the third option is to play the lane here. And what you've done so far is okay. You secured the level 2 for Magnus. You killed the courier. That's good enough. But the only problem I see with this is you're still playing close to the tower. You have no idea. Let me show you. You have no idea if this camp is blocked, right? So what is gonna end up happening? You kill this courier, you block the camp, perfect, right? But the lane is here. And you don't have the camp. So the lane is gonna be stuck here for another minute. Unless you pull the aggro again, like I told you, right? This is Pudge PA lane, a very weak lane, right? Especially at level 1. And so far, they got everything they wanted from this lane. Despite you being a Zeus and you having a Magnus. So you're very strong compared to them at level 1, I would say. Unless you get hooked into the tower, obviously, right? And so far, you didn't accomplish anything else than just killing this courier. Otherwise, the lane is like 50-50 still, right? Your main goal is to play in the lane here. To get the lane here. That's your main goal. For the first 2 minutes at least. And then it depends. So that's why you see, 9 classes and all of the pro supports doing crazy shit with the creeps, right? Just pulling them here. Or, just doing some aggro tricks. Because in the end, the most important thing as a 4, to get your lane back. Whether that's here, or even here, it's better than playing it here. And against Pudge, it's like very important, right? Because the only way they kill you is by hooking you into the tower. So your lane, as position 4, always starts in the worst possible position, and it can only get better. So your job as position 4 is to fix that. And as for position 5, it's reversed. Your lane starts in the best possible position, and you just need to make sure that it stays here. That's why it's important to, block the camp as position 5, right? If your lane is here, blocking the camp here doesn't matter. It's way more important to unblock this one. And if the lane is here, then it's reversed. This camp doesn't matter because you don't need to pull. Obviously, it's kind of different, right? Because enemies can pull this, but this is the most important then. So blocking this is the most important thing if the lane is far. But if it's here, it's not important at all, basically. So every time you come to the lane as position 4 from now on, I want you, the most important thing to focus on is to get the lane back. That's the first step. And that's an easy step, right? Because there's so many options to do that. You can, as I said, block the wave, pull the aggro, slowly pull the aggro, you know, like creep by creep, right? Or just even push the wave into enemies and just make them deal with creeps under the tower. And maybe then, you know, before the tower kills the creeps, his creep wave arrives, and then it's gonna take extra 3 seconds to kill this. And then, you know, your another wave just pushes into the tower and boom, you fix the lane, right? Do you play Zeus a lot?
Yeah, I tried. He's my main pause 4.
Lovely. I love it. I played him quite a bit. What would you say is his strength as a support early on?
Early on, the mini stun and just tons of damage.
Yeah, because it's tied to the facet, right?
Yeah, and then also I basically have a free sentry
Yeah.
as a W.
Yeah. I agree completely. So what's the strength of this hero on this lane, would you say? At level 1.
The damage
Yeah.
and yeah, the vision thing I was saying.
Yeah, the damage is the most important one. So what I don't like about this is you never hit enemy hero yet. Not a single time.
Okay.
And I want you to be all over them. Because at level 1, unless this page is here, you can just click them over and over, over and over. So again, another thing is, let's say you cannot fix this lane. It's gonna be stuck for a while here, right? So we didn't accomplish this, it's fine. How does Patch kill you at level 1? He hooks you into the tower, right?
Yeah.
And it's gonna be here, most likely, right? So
Yeah.
there's nothing stopping you from playing right here and just clicking this PA. A lot. Every hit is like, you know, 60, 70 damage to her right now. Because of your innate. Sorry. Yeah, it's innate actually. And then hit this PA. So even if this patch goes and unblocks, you hit this PA, you know, 7, 8 times. You have a grenade, you have Magnus, and then you just kill her. And this camp doesn't matter. Maybe he fixed the lane by pulling, but this PA is dead already. So I want you to, first of all, try to get the lane back, and then abuse the strength of your heroes. If you're playing a Zeus against double melee that have no way to close the gap, so, you know, he has to hit the hook to close the gap, right? So just make him unable to hit the hook. If he's playing here, you play through the creeps here, right? And you just hit. Yeah.
Sorry, if I were to go body block the next camp or cut, I guess, cut the wave, would that be ideal, or would hitting here be better?
No. Your hero has a very good right click, and you're actually useful on the lane. Let's say you're playing a melee position 4 that just dies to PA and patch. Then you can skip the wave. You know, to grab the wave and pull it here, hopefully just 2 creeps. But you're playing a hero that has very good right click, right? So just abuse it. I want to see it right now. You don't even need to, you know, trade. You can just, you know, kite back. The only reason PA is allowed to commit like that is because she's full HP. If she's like half HP because you hit her many times, this doesn't happen. She has to run. Killing enemies is not always a priority for you. Sometimes it's just getting them low and being unable to just hit the creeps. If you hit the creeps, you hit the enemies enough times, and they are not able to approach creeps, you basically do the same job as killing them. It's basically the same, maybe even better versus some, you know, matchups, because then they miss like out on 2 waves instead of just missing 2 creeps and then TPing back with full HP for mana. So every time you're playing a ranged hero against double melee, you're obviously after fixing the lane, right? Because you want to fix the lane, that's your priority. But the second priority is I hit them. I hit them as much as I can. If that means I get to, you know, buy boots early, like my first item, I just get boots early. And then I just kite them back. Notice how a lot of things happened on this lane and nobody fucking cared about the pull camps yet. Not a single person, you know, you never look at the pull camp. This patch never bothered to unblock it. So if the lane is like this, and this patch doesn't care about his pull camp, well, just abuse your strength then. Click, click, click. But the most impactful thing you can do on this matchup on the mid lane is to grab the water rune at 4 minutes. You have co-op. What? Okay. You have co-op against Ember, which is a decent matchup for you. This Ember is gonna struggle with the region. So after getting a kill like this, and you see the status of the lane, right? You have double range creep coming into you, and the pull camp is blocked. So that's the first thing you need to worry about, right? If the lane is pushing into you, that means they have more creeps. That is correct. There's no risk for Magnus, hopefully, right? Because you gave him Tango, you killed 2 enemies. You can go for the water rune and just ping your mid laner. Bro, I'm coming for the top, go bot rune. That's it. And you can do it in a way that you just like, you know, go and stack here and take this water rune, or just straight for the water rune. You don't even need to stack. That's just like, you know, some crazy shit, right? But if you take this water rune off Ember, he's gonna struggle massively. And you know, you're not losing anything on Magnus. That's not even enough. You're even getting more experience as a Magnus, which he loves, because as soon as he gets RP, he gets a kill on this lane, right?
Yeah.
Because right now, what are you doing on this lane? What is your goal here, right? You have no purpose on this lane because you have no mana. The creep wave is pushing anyways. You're not the one who is gonna farm the creep wave, right? Because you're not 3. You gave your region to Magnus. This is the time to rotate.
Yeah, I think my thought process here was just soak XP. But yeah, you're right. I should have rotated.
So that's the bad thing about Zeus. And I get it. I've been there. You know, you need your 6, right? And you feel like it's very important. And it is. But the better way to get your 6 is just by being level 4. Your Magnus is 6. And then you get double kill on the top lane. And then you're level 5. And then your Magnus is like, okay, bro, I'm level 7 because of this. And maybe you stacked for me. So I go for the stacks. And then you get level 6 on top lane. And then instead of being 2 heroes with level 6 and no kills, you have like 2 kills, Magnus with stacks, and then you just get 6. Because, you know, this is a snowball game. And ultimate on each hero is like a very good tool to snowball. But the sooner he gets it, the more impactful he gets, you know. Because if he gets it at, let's say, 7 minutes, he's able to use it at 7 minutes and then at 9 minutes. If he gets it, you know, at 8:30, then it's gonna be delayed by 90 seconds. And of course, you get the ultimate as well. But you're playing support. You're basically supposed to be behind on levels. That's why you get XP Shrine at 7 minutes. You're not supposed to be same experience as this Magnus ever. I mean, up until this point, maybe yes. But this is the time. Obviously, if the lane is here, right, and both heroes are playing, you don't even consider going for the water rune. But the time you want to rotate is when your lane is in a good place. And right here it is, because this camp is blocked, so they have no way to fix it. And then the lane is pushing, right? So that's where you can consider rotating. And now, I know you want to get XP, but the way you need to think about it is, do I have impact on this lane? So if there's no heroes on this lane, because you just killed them, there's no impact to be had. You're just, a leech at this point. If the enemy heroes are alive, and you are the difference between your Magnus getting a free farm and your Magnus not touching creeps, go for it, just be there. You can be the leech because you have the impact. You probably hit the SPA from now on, right? Because you learn that you have to do this a lot. And then it's good that you are here. And then it's good that at 7 minutes, maybe this lane is like, farm fest, right? So maybe for 7 minutes, you don't even leave.